OG shoe right here. Morning freaks, Sunday morning, just at a gym session, epic. Very productive week this week. Let me know in the comments whether you smashed the shit out of your goals this week. Now, I don't know the stats, but I'd imagine that most people that start running in January, I would say maybe, I don't know, 70%, I might just be making that up, completely give up by now, which is the 19th of January. I think most people do, and today's video is all about getting you people, before you quit, to figure out how to make this running thing consistent, because running is the hardest sport in the world. Well, except that free diving thing where they free dive like 1 kilometer into the ocean with one breath. That's probably a bit harder, but not by much. Okay, so why is it so hard to stay consistent with running? Well, it all comes down to habit formation. So let's look at what habit formation actually means. There's a 4-step cycle to habit formation. Number 1, context cues. It's like a trigger that allows you to activate that habit. So it's a time of day, a location, something like that. The second step is a craving. So you have a desire for the outcome. So you're in a situation, you have that desire that you want to go run. Okay, fair enough. And then the next bit is the behavior. So you go and run, and then you have a reward, right? Which is a positive feeling after you actually go and do the run. The problem is when you start running, there is no happy reward or feeling good, because running is so unbelievably hard when you start. This is what a lot of people will not tell you. It's really hard at the start. It sucks. It's really painful. Your heart rate's way too high. The effort level's really high. You feel really sore afterwards. Everything sucks. And so, of course, this habit is going to be really hard to get in stone. And the thing is, this never changes. Like, I've had a bit of time off with running, and I know that when I get back into some regular running, it's going to feel the exact same for me, and I've ran for many, many years now. It's going to feel hard, and then it's going to feel easy again. But the thing is this is only temporary, and after a while, it actually gets much better. What actually happens in the short term is your blood volume, so the amount of blood that you actually have starts to build up, and this means that your heart rate is going to drop 5 or 10 beats per minute for the same effort level. So what's going to happen is that really fast heart rate feeling after 4 weeks or 5 weeks is going to start to drop down, and it's going to make running feel a lot more easier. So all you have to do is just push through right now, and you're going to get there. Another thing that starts to happen is that your body starts to actually adapt to what you've been doing to it. So the bones, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the joints, they all start to get stronger. And so what it means is that for the same level of running, you produce less damage to your body, and so you start to feel much, much better. That is only a couple of weeks away from now, but there are a couple of things that you can actually do to make this process much less painful than eating glass. The first thing is to not run continuously. I don't know where this rule kind of came from, but people have this fascination in running with trying to run continuously when they start, and it's just not possible unless you want to have a really, really hard time. If you want to run 15 minutes continuously, that's going to feel really hard. But if you were to run 5 minutes, 4 times, with a 2-minute walking break in between, you've now run for 20 minutes, and it's going to feel like you've only run for 15. You're getting way more volume in, you're going to feel way less sore, and there you go, you're training smarter, not harder, and that is the key with running. The second thing is cross-training, but I'm going to talk about that when I get home because I'm really hungry. Okay, the next thing that you can do to start being more consistent and turning up and creating that habit is by cross-training, because yes, you're not going to be able to run every day when you first start, but that's okay, because we can start to do cross-training, which is much less fatiguing on the body once again, and it's going to give you that reward of just showing up every day. So cross-training can be riding the bike, it could be getting in the pool, it could be getting on the elliptical, it could even just be going out for a walk every day. Once again, setting up yourself for creating that really strong habit so that when you can run every day, if you ever want to, you're going to be able to do it, no worries, because you've already set in that habit and you've let your body adapt to what you're doing. Start cross-training. Plus, if you care about getting brutally fit, cross-training is the best way to get brutally fit really fast, because your body can't handle running lots, but it can definitely handle getting on the bike heaps, and definitely it can handle getting on the elliptical. So you could get really fit really quick by cross-training and not fatiguing your body from running, because running's really hard. Now, spending time creating this movement habit is so important, especially about now when your motivation really starts to fade. Like, I don't know about you, but I can only watch so much video of David Goggins running at 2 a.m. telling me to stay hard. I can probably only get to about the 19th of January before that stuff stops working. So we need to figure out how to actually stay motivated for longer. And that key really is to just forget about motivation altogether and focus on building this habit, because that is going to end up being something that we can call discipline. Okay, did I really want to go to the gym this morning? Not really, but I did it anyway because it's moving me forward and it's keeping that habit and that discipline stuff in my life. Very important. Start building that habit and that discipline, and you're going to go way further than the 19th of January. You're going to go forever, hopefully. Okay, so the next issue that people might have at this stage, shut up, drink bottle, is goal setting. Either number one, they have no goals at all, or number two, their goals are way too ambitious. So let's start with number one. If you have no goals, you have no kind of direction, you have no kind of anchor as to how to proceed with your running over time. And the thing is that you can have the most simplest goal and it can be a fundamental anchor to your training, and it's going to really help. For example, my goal is to just be consistent with running. And so that means that if you keep that goal as a core element of your training, you're not going to run nothing each week, and you're also not going to run way too much where it's going to take away your consistency. So even something so simple as I just want to be consistent really maps out your whole training load and your future training load instantly. And number two is that your goals are way too ambitious. For example, I have this marathon that I want to do in 12 weeks and I've never ran before in my life. That is a very ambitious goal that I like to call rolling the dice. You don't know if you're going to even get there. And so it's not a very good way to start running is to put yourself in the front lines of war, which is marathon training. It's absolutely brutal. And what will happen is that you might get to a certain point where you just can't do it anymore. You mentally just are too fatigued, or your willpower runs out, or you just get completely injured and you have to stop, which sucks. And I hate when people have to stop running for some particular reason when they could have fixed it if they just set their goals a little bit better. So the way that you can do this is by pushing things like that further away and setting micro goals along the way that you can work towards, and then work towards the next one and the next one, and start to build momentum rather than taking massive risks. Look at the best runners in the world. Even when they start running as a child, they slowly build themselves up over time to get to things like marathons, because they respect the monumental goal that actually is. And I think if you give that goal that's really ambitious the respect it deserves, you will come to the conclusion that you have to stretch that out a little bit further, and then you're going to be able to achieve it more, and you're going to enjoy running a lot better, because it sucks when you've only been running for 5 weeks and your long run on the weekend is already at 18 kilometers. Mate, brutal. Now, another thing that you guys can actually start to do is try and figure out what your why is as to why you're actually running. This is so important, because without it, you're eventually going to give up. For example, are you running for your health? Are you running to get fitter? Are you running to stay out of trouble? I don't know. Are you running to be a healthier and happier dad or mum for your kids? Are you trying to be a better role model and instill beliefs into other people? Are you trying to lead some sort of movement? This is all kinds of things that you could cement as your why. Do you want to help other people with your running? This is the kind of stuff that is really important and will cement your running into your life so fundamentally. For example, I've not run really consistently in the last 6 months. I've just had a couple of really annoying injuries, but I've never wanted to run more in my life. And that's because my why for why I run is so fundamental to my personality and my life that I'll never lose that passion to go and get it done. You need to find your why if you want to run consistently over time. Every runner in the world that is doing it for years on end has that why really deep in their soul. Because the key to running, if you want to run casually or super seriously in the future, it's both the same. It is showing up every day, and you can't show up every day unless you don't have a reason why. I'll see you guys later. Bye. See you tomorrow.